Part of my February event, I had a joke about this by putting it on as an event. I'm doing, well, not only am I right, stop laughing. Both two reasons for playing this. One was my initial reason, which was that, well, I'm not going to have a date in February for Valentine's Day, so fuck it. I thought, why not do a visual novel? And then I got this on Humble Bundle, and I thought, okay, that would be perfectly fun. I'm sure people will be interested in watching the gameplay of this. Oh god. But also, I am doing the whole detox thing through February as well, which means I'm not touching chocolate for the whole month of February for charity. The link is down below for the web page that I'm doing it for. It's for the British Heart Foundation, you see. And once I get this tablet running, I can accurately see how many, or rather, how few people are watching. As is typical. Yep, there we go. Right. Well, I don't think I'm bothered with how to play, because it's a dating sim. I'm sad to say I've played a lot of those in my time. Current playthrough, no progress. Ooh, I can 100% the game scene! Yes! There we go. Let's see what cats we can date. I just love the expression of the faces when you highlight them. Yeah, I'll go with the name of that. What should I go with the name? I could have chosen something else. Let's go random. Ben, Jack, Henry, Sandra, Chrissy, Sally, Hannah, Jack. Meh, and let's go with Andrew, why not? What's with the meowing? See, this game supports an auto-save feature. Please don't turn off your game while it is saving. I'm an angel and I accept. I'm divine object. No. I think that's more appropriate. I'm not sure how long we've been sailing, but it feels like forever, and I'm not feeling too well now, so it's a huge relief I can hear the deck lad shout. Island approach! Make yourself ready! I'm finally here! When I applied last year, I was just another broke student living off of baked beans and didn't really think I had a chance of being accepted to be part of the prestigious Cat Island research team. Okay. Yet here it is. The little black dot in the distance, growing bigger by the second, is the infamous Cat Island, the place I will call home for the next few months. My heart momentarily skips a beat. What if there's been a mistake? What if they accepted someone else's application and accidentally sent the offer to me? I won't rummage about in my bag until I find the papers. Dear Andrew, we are pleased to be able to offer you the position of research assistant to Professor Pawpur? Okay, at our research facility on Cat Island. The position will be for an initial period of 8 weeks. Your contract will be sent separately. We will look forward to working with you. Yours sincerely, Professor Pawpur. The puns, the puns! No mistake, that's my name right there in the top left-hand corner, Andrew. And there's his name at the bottom, the genius behind the whole operation, Professor Pawpur. Sorry, I can't sit on the straight face. Science genius and my new boss. I look up from my papers to see dry land rapidly approaching before us. It seems to be surrounded by a huge barrier of impenetrable black rocks. As we get closer, we're not slowing down, and I begin to worry that we're going to crash into them. Then, at the very last moment, we take a sharp turn to the left, and suddenly we're sailing smoothly towards a jetty through an opening in the rocks. I blow out the breath that I've been holding and break into a smile. Nicely done, Skipper! The ferryman comes out from behind the steering wheel, ignoring my attempts at camaraderie, and shouts rather brusquely, "Take all your belongings. We won't be back for days, so don't leave nothing you'll need." Thank you. I smile weakly at the ferryman and his son and pick up my bags, ready to disembark. We glide seamlessly up to the wooden jetty, and the son leaps ashore to tie us off. He's greeted by a bulky man in uniform, who I take to be a security officer of some kind. Joe? Sir, caught your mouse. And then he laughs loudly as though he's said the funniest thing he's ever heard. It's very disconcerting. The security guard rings surly and turns his attention to me. Let's be having you then. Oh no, don't have me! He holds out his large hand, which I assume is an offer to help me off the boat, but as I reach to take it, he snatches it away, throwing me off balance. I almost fell over his side. What a great start! ID card? Oh, I see, of course. I reach into my back pocket and hand over the laminated card I was given on the mainland. Date of issue, the first of the first 2017. 2 years ago. He barely looks at it before striding off, ignoring, grunting over his shoulder. This way. And even for the picture here, they have him have like a nice sort of coy smile, and yet he just seems to be like, ugh, another bloody foreigner. I follow him down a dirt track path and get my first proper view of the island. It's beautiful, lush and green. I'm already under its spell. After no more than a couple of minutes trekking, we're in the base camp, which consists of an assortment of tents and huts. Among them are 2 more solid-looking structures, one larger and one smaller. I assume these are the labs. The whole camp is moderate but functional. It reminds me of an army outpost. That's comforting. I'm struck by a lack of people. There's no one around apart from an older woman sitting outside, peeling a pile of potatoes. I smile and give her a little nod, but she just stares back at me. very unwelcomed beginning then, basically. I try not to get paranoid. I already am. Here. He stopped at the largest of the tents, indicating that I should go inside. I feel rude just walking in, so I make my presence known first. Hello? A firm but friendly voice comes out. Come! I walk in, and there he is, hunched over some documents. The great Professor Pawpur. Sir, it's an honor to meet you. Yes, you must be Andrew. Come on in, my dear. Glad to have you on board. Good journey? Well, long. Yes, indeed, we are rather tucked away here. Let me offer you some refreshment. Water, coffee, something stronger perhaps? Whiskey? I'm not much of either of those, to be fair. I'm fine, thank you. It's important to keep hydrated. The temperatures can rise quite dizzyingly heights on this island. I'll bear that in mind, Professor. Thank you. It will take you a while to find your way around and discover how it all works, so for today, I thought I would just get you kitted out and maybe introduce you to some of the locals. The cats, that is. I believe you already met most of the human locals. Oh? I've only met the ferryman and the security man who brought me here. Yes, that's about it. And the lady outside? Ah, Mrs. Marigold. Her and her husband are caretakers. Wonderful people. Wonderful couple, the Marigolds. You'll meet them before too long. We're a tidy little family here, Andrew, and I'm sure you'll fit in nicely. Thank you, sir. I hope so. Okay, so first things first. This is your basic kit. It begins to go through a pile of the things on the desk, explaining each of them in turn. This is your backpack, so you can put everything in it. We will be going on plenty of field trips, so it will be very useful. As will your own water bottle. Some disinfectant hand spray. These are heavy-duty reinforced gloves, which are essential when tagging cats out in the wild. Don't want any scratches on the felines. We don't know, now do we? I suppose not. I shove each item into my new backpack as he gives them to me. Likewise, these goggles are to be brought along on all field trips. This lot here, indicates a small part of what looks like laundry, is basic uniform, lab coats, masks, stethoscope, etc, etc. Portable first aid kit, camping knife with all tool attachments. Oh, I've got something like that. Finally, and without doubt, most importantly, this! What the hell is that? It's like a cat Pokedex. A Catidex. A Catidex. Yeah, Catidex, there you go. He holds up something that looks like a mobile phone, except it clearly isn't one. This is your catalog. Oh, catalog. Catalog! Anyway. Catalog? Yes, the name comes from its earliest version. It was initially designed to record and store data on cats, scan them, and log their details, but as you can see, we've come a long way since then. So again, it's like a Pokedex cats, but it's called a catalog. Now you can use it to communicate with the rest of our team. I've added everyone else's contact details for you. Listen to music, take photos. There's even a pen that comes with it to insert microchips into the back of the cat's neck so that we can keep track of them. It's a very valuable piece of equipment, Andrew, and I need you to protect it above all else. Do you understand? He's looking me directly in the eye and clearly expects a response. Yes, sir, of course. I will look after it. Good! You'll get to know all the functions as you go along, but for now, I suggest we take a stroll out and see if we can't find a few friends to introduce you to, so that we can try it out. He hands me the gadget. I feel a bit nervous taking charge of it, but also really keen to have a go. Head down on the beach, the professor explaining things as we go. The mixture of terrain on Cat Island is quite unique. Even in such a relatively small area, you'll find forests, mountains, jungle, beaches, woodland, all of these different geological and ecological zones in one place. It really is most remarkable. It certainly is. Even the lack of wildlife is, in itself, quite remarkable. What do you mean, Professor? Well, put simply, there's a type of force field that's... A type of force field, Doctor! That surrounds the island, disallowing anything to enter. You mean literally anything? Absolutely. No birds, fish, or creatures of any kind can penetrate it. Forgive my lack of intelligence on the subject, but, we're here. There's a disconcertingly loud laugh. Ah, I see what you mean. Well, there is, of course, one small break in this invisible wall, and that is where we built the jetty. But let's not get too bogged down in all this right now. What we need to do, what you do need to know is that basically the island is shaped like a peanut. He picked up a nearby stick and drew a simple map of the island. This our end of the island is very well known to us now. We've been researching here for many years. The other end is not so familiar to us. We have encountered difficulties that have hindered our progress in the region. What the hell? What type of difficulties, Professor? Well, we're not sure as we'd like to be, but what I can tell you is that the environment has an adverse effect upon humans, inducing nausea at the very least. And at the worst? Fainting, migraines, possible nerve damage. Gosh, that is serious. As I say, it's best to keep away. But let's not go into all that right now, my dear. You've had a long day. For now, let's just say that we refer to the far end of the island as the danger zone, with good reason. Danger zone! Yeah, that's my expression too. I must ask you not to put yourself at risk by venturing beyond this mountain range here. He refers to the map once more, drawing a line just past the centre and an X through the end section. There are wild, aggressive cats out there. I wouldn't want you getting too close to them. Unlike our lovely fellows close to home. He has led me to a spot where a few cats are lounging about. Would you say we try out your catalogue now, Andrew? Catalogue? I can't get over that. Catalogue! Catalogue! He stoops down and picks up one of the animals, a disgruntled looking cat who was sleeping under the shade of the palm tree. Cat lets out a displeased meow. Mew, but doesn't struggle. His large body billowing with long orange fur just sort of hands in the professor's arms in lazy resignation. Yeah, that's that sort of cat, alright. I've met those sort of cats. They're just so lethargic. Would you like to have a go at the scanning this delightful chap? I find an on switch and somewhat timidly activate it. Oh shit, it's gonna explode. The gadget immediately comes to life, emitting a boop 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 sound and the red pulsing light. I select the app labeled CAT SCAN. CAT SCAN, and it loads instantly. There's no delay to this thing. As the cat towards me, the arms outstretched. I'm sure he said scanning the chip is implanted in its neck somewhere, but it's difficult to find this one's neck amidst all the thick fur. Look at that fur. I blow to make a party and press the catalogue to his skin. It's a bit like scanning groceries in the supermarket where I used to work. That should do it! And he plops the marmalade Tom back into the shade. Sure enough, upon withdrawal, I find the cat has been successfully scanned. Meow! Floofy Butt. His name is Floofy Butt. Male, 10 years, 4 months. Breed red tabby Persian. Eye colour red. Well, I kind of knew that from his eyes. Amazing! Clever, isn't it? A large part of your job here will be to tag and scan the cats, such as Mr. Floofy Butt here. But it looks like you'll have no problems at all in that area. Excellent work, Andrew. Thank you, sir. I can't wait to get started. Well, why don't you get a bit more practice with the catalogue and scan the rest of them while we're here? These 5 spent a lot of time together. They're like a little family, aren't you? Oh, yes, you are. Professor seems to be a genuine cat lover like me. I think we're going to get along great. Okay, here he goes. No help this time. Professor steps back. The first cat I approach is very friendly, with the beautiful calico markings. It comes towards me, already purring. Meow. Why is it winking? 3 years, 8 months. Calico American short hair. Eye color green. Next is an elegant, sleek, hairless cat sitting gracefully in the sun. She doesn't pay much attention to me and allows me to scan her with minimal fuss. Meow! It's Mr. Pigglesworth! Snooty Booty! 11 years, 1 month breed, Sphinx. Are they called Sphinx? No, okay. Eye colour blue. The bobcat approach is a noisy one. Meow 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 meow. McMurphy. That's a nice name. Brown crossbreed, eye colour green. And finally, the one I deliberately put off last. He's been sulking around the edges of the activity, eyeing me suspiciously, as though he could pounce at any moment. I laugh at myself already projecting personalities onto these animals. There, yeah, that's a bit more like it, isn't it? Although the goofy grin there. Kibbles! White British long hair, 3 years, and his eye colour is green. He's also a male. All done. All done. I hope you enjoy meeting some of the locals. Let's have a little laugh. I have a feeling you'll get to know them quite well in time. That's probably enough for the first day, don't you think? It's quite a lot to take in. I'm suddenly exhausted and grateful to be heading back to camp. It's quite late by the time I unpack and settle myself, but I want to write my journal entry before I sleep. I'm surprised at how chilly it is. I have pulled my sleeping bag right up to my chin, but I still feel goose pimples bloom all over my arms. Shivering, I rub them to warm myself up. It makes me smile to think that this inherent reaction to the cold is what we will be keeping my new feline friends warm at night. My eyelids close, thinking of the cats and the island and the professor. The world around me drifts away as I float up into a dream. Ah! It's like Pony Island, the whole game's against me. I'm not sure how long I've been asleep, but I wake with a violent jolt that leaves me sitting bolt upright. It's too dark to see anything, but I hear rustling and then a strange electronic noise. One that, in my sleepy confusion, I can't place right away. The catalogue! I turn on the instinct and scramble my feet and follow the noise out of the tent. Here's a confirm when I catch sight of the pulsing red light, getting fainter in the direction of the forest. Oh, someone's already stolen it. I snap an action, running as fast as I can, barefoot, dressed in my pajamas, running at full speed into the forest in the dark of night. I must be crazy. Words of the Professor Pawpur are ringing in my ears. I need you to protect it above all else. It's trembling beneath me. I stop, feeling my heartbeat beat heavy throughout my body. I wheeze in and out, my breath billowing in front of me in white puffs. I shouldn't feel like this. Why am I so dizzy? I try to get my bearings and realise I've blundered perilously close to the danger zone. I can just make out the shapes of some large animals in front of me before my eyes close and I drop to my knees. Ooh, pissed off looking cats. Oh, sorry, I meant to click. I open my eyes. The Cleo cat I scanned yesterday is standing in front of me. She drops the catalogue at my feet. I pass out. Hello? Can you hear me? Are you okay? What is it? Don't be ridiculous, Kibble. This is a human. Oh yeah, yuck, I can smell it now. It smells like a human. Oh, do be quiet. Are you alive? Of course it's alive. It's breathing, you imbecile. Why is it moving? Would you come on and give them some space? Give them some space. Move back a bit. Yes, stand back. Move out of my way. Let me have a proper look. I begin to come to. The Sphinx cat is standing over me. I open my eyes. We stare at each other for a moment while I try to take in what's happening. Is this one defective? Oh, I feel sick. I've got to puke. The cats watch me intently. Am I going insane? Ouch, my head. What is it chattering about? They're scared and confused. Let me talk to them. Human, are you alright? You! I remember you took my catalogue! Oh, but I gave it back to you. It's back in your pocket now. I try to reach my pocket and realise my hands are scratched to shreds. Ow, 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 what's wrong with my hands? Ow, ow, my feet, what happened to me? Yeah, I guess that's from all the climbing. I told you it wasn't ready for that. What's that? Ready for what? Its anatomical structure is far too delicate. I tried to slow it down. Yeah, Floof, you tried restraining a human who's that determined. It was like a margay. A margay? Its anatomic structure didn't seem that delicate to me. I was like, what? Doing what? You made your own way back to the beach. Okay, but that doesn't explain... I show my bleeding hand. Ah, you clawed Kara. Kara? Who's Kara? That's not my name anymore. It's a term of endearment. It's an Irish thing. It's inappropriate. Wait, I crawled? You sure did. Like a cat? Yup. All the way from the mountains. Like a bleeding mountain lion. Impressive. But why? Because you got the sickness. Shh. Maybe we should sit down, human. We need to have a talk. Possibly a long talk. Talk? Yeah, that's right. Since when can cats talk? Oh, for goodness sake, since the dawn of time. How else do you think we communicate? Ah, stop splitting whiskers, Major. You know full well what the human is saying. I think the revelation here, Kara, is that you can understand us. Yes, that too. Will someone please explain what the hell is going on here? Well, we don't fully understand everything ourselves. At least, not all the details of how this works. I think being stood in the forest surrounded by a bunch of talking cats is about as much detail as anybody would want. I agree. And more to the point, we were rather hoping that you would be able to help us. You are a scientist after all. You are a scientist. I'm thinking of South Park now. Mr. Scientist! What we do is that the clock has started ticking for you. What do you mean? Well, there's no easy way to say this to you, Kara. You'll be cutified. I'll be what? Whether you help or not, you don't have a lot of time before... if I may... It would seem, and we are basing this on our own experiments to date, that when a human manages to find themselves in what I believe you call the danger zone, they are vulnerable in ways that they previously were not. That is to say, you're screwed. You're not helping, don't make me... Whoa, mountain lion. There will be no violence of any kind. Forgive me for being a bit panicked here. The vulnerability in which Snooty Booty was referring to is, simply put, if you are bitten or scratched by an elder cat within the danger zone, you will begin the process of change that will ultimately result in full feline transition. So, like werewolves? Catwolves? Werecats? Catified! So basically you're telling me I'm a werecat? He caught on. I looked down amongst the scratches on my right hand are two distinct puncture marks. The reality of my situation descends upon me like a cold mist. Basically... yes. My head is spinning, this is too much for me to take in. Take a breath now, Kara, you're not looking so good. What? Have I started to change? I feel my head for ears, fur, anything that seems to be normal. No. I just meant that you're looking a bit shaky, understandably so. I take a few deep steady breaths and calm myself enough to say, okay, so why? How? What? Give me some data. What have you got so far? Look, we'll answer anything that we can, but the truth is, we have more questions than answers ourselves. So, you said you need my help. What exactly would that entail? Well, finding our friends would be a start. The cats on this island, they're going missing. We don't know what's happening to them, but the body count is rising and we've hit a wall. A wall of ignorance, maybe? Really, how many times do I have to tell you? The Muellers are to blame. Muellers? No, Floofy, but there is no need for name calling. Speaking of name calling, I remind you my name is Major, madam. Look, they can't help the way they are. It's lack of breeding, you know. Overbreeding, if you ask me. Again, Muellers? They're the elder cats, the island originals. They can't speak the way we can, hence the derogatory term Muellers. And how are they to blame for that exactly? Well, if I knew that, there would have been no need for this elaborate kidnapping. It's hardly proving to be a roaring success after all. Look, Kara, all we really know is that we are no longer safe on this island. The elders who live within the danger zone are hostile towards us. Not sure why, it's always been that way, and now, because cats are being taken, nowhere is safe either. You expect the occasional mishap. We live in an undomesticated world here after all. But lately, cats have disappeared almost every day. Even the last human we catified went missing. I'm sorry, what? Let's not open old wounds, Kibbles. Yes, onward and upward. Well, first things first, this werecat thing. Cutification. Transition. Whatever. How does it work? Time passes, then you transform into a cat. Yeah. It's a gradual process. It's different for everyone, but you won't just turn overnight. The clock is ticking, however. The first side effect of transition is being able to understand us. Well, some of us. Not the elders, obviously. Not all the domestics either. When you have the whole heightened senses thing, the increased agility, the crazy body hair stuff. Let's not worry the human with all the details just yet. I assume there's an antidote? I'm afraid you're going to be disappointed in that assumption. Hang on, you said there was someone else who you'd put in this position. Well, let's hope they're a better bet than they were. Unfortunately, they weren't able to discover an antidote or get our friends back. I know where their notes are, though. Really? Trade. Huh? You help us, I'll help you, and I'll help you their progress. I'll give you their progress reports. So what do you say, Carla? Will you help us? Yeah, why not? Not much of a choice, really, is it? Afraid not. Okay, fine. So, where do I start? Is there anything you can tell me that will help me track down your missing friends? No one will listen to sense. Ooh, no one listen to sense. Start with the Muellers, and I'll eat my hat if it doesn't end there too. Don't mind him. He's set in his ways. We have every reason to believe the abductions take place in your part of the island. Yes, nowhere near the danger zone or the elders. Well, that doesn't make much sense. But I suppose nothing does around this place. Oh, my alarm! I have to get to work. You run along now. We don't want you arousing suspicions with your people. You can meet with us later. I'll make sure those reports are in your tent before this evening. Thanks, Kara. You're 1 in a million. I imagine the odds are far greater than that, given your new health status. Go! And thanks for all of us. After a rather painful journey, I am very grateful to finally limp into camp. I have just enough time to get myself tidied up for work, and I'm about to peel off my filthy pyjamas when I hear my catalogue beeping. I have a message, but I can't tell who it's from. It's not from any of the contacts that Professor Pawpur programmed into it. In fact, there's no contact information at all. No number. Are you sure it is wise to trust everyone? Anyone? What on earth does that mean? Who is this? There's a lot you don't know. Think carefully about who you confide in. Before I could think of a reply, the messages are gone and my catalogue has no record of them. I don't have any time to think about this right now. I need to get ready. As soon as I'm presentable, I'll head over to the lab. I'm 10 minutes late. It doesn't give a good impression on my first morning. Ah, Andrew, good to see you. I was beginning to worry. Did you oversleep on your first day? I'm terribly sorry, sir. I think the travelling and all the excitement of yesterday, I take punctuality very seriously. It cuts across my apology. Not to worry, it's perfectly understandable. You will find it quite relaxed around. You'll find I'm quite relaxed about most things. As long as you get the work done, I don't much mind what hours you keep. Those cats there in the cage, are they the missing cats? Or have I already solved the epic mystery already? Thank you, sir. So, shall we get started? My goodness, what on earth happened to you? This is scratches in my hands. Oh, I fell and tried to save myself by grabbing onto a bush. Not a secret drinker, are you, Andrew? Oh no, sir. I'm a bit of a lightweight, to tell you the truth. Just teasing. We ought to get those hands sorted out, though. They look pretty nasty to me. He opens a tall medical cabinet in the corner and takes out a bottle and some cotton wool. He begins cleaning and tending to my hands while he talks. For today, I'd like you to help me with a few tasks around the lab to get the hang of things. But from tomorrow, I'll let you make your own choices about how best to carve up your time. Of course, you are primarily here to carry out your job as my research assistant. However, try and make the most of your time on the island. Once your work is complete, we'll be saying goodbye. This really is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, so don't waste it all in the lab. Naturally, I need your help around here, but I'd also like you to get your hands dirty with some of the field work. Make sure you spend time exploring the island. It's a beautiful place, and there's a lot to see. I wonder if there's anything I can click on in the background that's like a clue or a special thing. I like how it kind of looks like a conspiracy thing up there. Take the time to get to know the cats. A full understanding of their behaviour is crucial in our research. There is plenty to see and do, however, you must be careful not to overwork. Take regular rest and relaxation. We don't want you to burn yourself out now, do we? I'll try to get the balance right. That's the spirit! So, there you are. He's done a first-class job on my wounds, and they aren't bothering me nearly as much. I spent the rest of the day with the professor, getting to know how the various pieces of equipment in the lab work, finding out where everything is, and learning some of the basic duties I will be performing routinely. By the end of the day, I am exhausted. I make my way to my tent. I'm about to flop down the bed when I see a package poking out from underneath it. It's a report that Kibbles promised to deliver. The cats were right. The previous person barely made a made a start of producing an antidote. I'm gutted and worried. What if I can't do any better? Will I just turn to a cat? I decide that's not an option and resolve to get going on my own research into it tomorrow. My instincts tell me that the cats will be a good starting point. I have a feeling they know a lot more than they're prepared to tell me. I need to gain their trust and see if I can't get them to open up a bit. I'm sure I'll make more progress if I focus on one at a time. I'm optimistic that one-to-one sharing will prove fruitful. It's a small glimmer of hope. Tonight I'm not fit for anything. I can barely even write to my journal before I fall asleep. The first morning of waking up on the island. I'm so excited to discover what the day may bring. Should I jump straight into lab research, or maybe it would be wise to start investigating a way to help these cats and find a cure for myself? Perhaps a good starting point would be to get to know the cats a little better on a one-to-one basis. I agree with the last bit. New job! What should I do? Romance? Aw, not with Trixie. No. But I like Trixie. Okay. That security guard I met when I arrived might be a good lead. Time for a bit of interrogation work. A stranger message in the middle of the night. Doesn't anyone on this island sleep? How about that? Yeah, the device. Look at the screen and surround with focus. Vessel, contact information. Come outside. Who is it? Come outside. They obviously aren't going to respond to my question. Should I do as the message tells me? Yes. My curiosity aroused. I have a feeling that there's something important to learn from this stranger. So I throw on my clothes and I crawl out of my tent. I don't see anything out the ordinary. Anyone out there? Kellogg's starts beeping again. Walks to the edge of the forest. I'm not going any further too. Tell me who you are. Walk to the edge of the forest. No. Walk to the edge of the forest. Walk to the edge of the forest. Walk to the edge of the forest. Stop it! By now I realise I've walked to the edge of the forest. At the edge of the forest I see something on the ground. As I get closer it becomes clear that it's a small posy of flowers. I gingerly pick them up and notice that several of the flowers' heads are missing. Kellogg leaps again. Follow the petals. That's when I see the trail of little orange petals, the same colour as the bouquet I'm holding. Well, I've come this far, no turning back now. I begin to walk, I'm nervous, so I call out. Hello? No answer. Louder this time. Hello? 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 Who is that? Who goes there? Major? Is that you, Purrfect? I really wish you wouldn't call me that, human. What on earth do you think you're playing at? Cavorting around the forest in the dead of night, causing a ruckus. Oh, Major, you don't know how pleased I am to see you. I need your help. And this can't wait until a civilized hour? I'm afraid it can't. I'm not the one investigating this. I've been getting messages from an anonymous source asking me to follow them into the forest. Look, they left this trail. Ah! Caliendula maritima. Marigolds. Herb of the sun. They're said to represent creativity, though some believe them to be symbols of cruelty and grief. Your knowledge is always so impressive, but I have to say on this occasion it's not very comforting. Purrfect goes in strong on purpose. Come along then, Andrew. Are we going to follow this trail or not? I shuffle awkwardly behind him. Before the sun comes up, eh? We continue on the shore for a while and notice the petals are getting more sparse. It's becoming more difficult to see them until eventually they seem to run out, and we find ourselves at a small clearing. Well, it appears somebody has been playing a joke on you, Andrew. I sadly agree, this has been nothing but wild goose chase. Seems so, Major. I'm sorry for dragging you into this. let's get back to our beds before we waste any more precious snooze time this fall. I turn to Fluffy Butt and notice that his back is arched and his fur is puffed up, making him look even more fluffy than usual. You tell me, human, does that pile of rocks look suspicious to you? Amongst myriad rock piles, I notice a small, contrived-looking cairn. I can never remember how to pronounce that. Fluffy Butt's right, it looks far from natural. That looks to me like it's asking to be inspected, Major. Well, get to it, Andrew. You're the one with the thumbs. I've even dismantled the small mound rock by rock. It's not until the foundation stone is removed that we find a manila envelope. Major, look, it's a letter. Looks rather large for a letter, my dear. I think you ought to open it. Here, or back at the base? Having got you this far, I think it's only fair that I have equal share in the spoils. Spoils? Yes, perhaps we should look at it right now, Major. As I'm speaking, I've torn into the envelope. Well, out with it. It looks like drawings? What sort of drawings? I'm not sure, but they look quite old. Antique, even. But do they have value, human? Probably to someone. They appear to be sketches of people here on the island, but I don't recognise anyone. Why would someone lead me to these? How do I know you were meant to find them? Because we followed a trail and it led us here. Actually, the trail ended a while back. This could be a mere coincidence. I hardly see the intrigue in a few old scribbles. They show no artistic flair at all. Even so, I'm going to hang on to these and see if I can prove relevant to whatever mystery is unfolding here on the island. Fluffy Butt rolls his eyes. You really ought to focus more on the clues that matter instead of running around in the middle of the night on a wild goose chases. Let's head back before anyone discovers you're missing. I roll the drawings up and tuck them in my waistband. I'll study them when I have more time. I think Fluffy is probably right though, but I don't want to miss the trick. Get some rest now, Andrew. Why do you know my name? I head after Fluffy Butt. Struggling to keep up, I really need some sleep. Right. 1.4%. Interesting. Let's do some research. Got a few samples of previous trips. Let's go cataloguing some samples, shall we? Surely that would help with the antidote. Or am I thinking too much about this? Today I'm in a lab doing floor research. It's not the most exciting job, but it keeps my head down. I can get through it quickly enough. It really just consists of unpacking the new samples of plants and flowers that Professor and I have collected on our foraging expeditions, and logging them into the database of organic substances on the computer. Most of them are commonplace plants that grow abundantly in the forest, but occasionally we come across something more rare, exotic even. One of the samples I'm looking at today is Calendula encara maritima, which is very interesting indeed. I can't help speculating that it's been cultivated in the Marigold's little greenhouse and then transplanted to the open ground. I was taken momentarily by the sound of clinking glasses, and I turn to see the beautifully manicured paw of a sphinx cat tapping on a beaker, nudging it perilously close to the edge of the counter. Boots! Stop that! You're not supposed to be in here! She laughs as though I told a joke. That's a frightfully pretty flower. Calendula encara maritima, if I'm not mistaken. You never cease to amaze me, Boots. How on earth did you know that? Why, I make it my business to know all about rare and valuable works of art. Art? Why not? It has been created like a sculpture or a painting. Marigolds are true artists in the garden. Ah, I wondered if they had something to do with this. It's so unusual, even in its natural swampy habitat. But to have it growing here in the forest is very out of the ordinary. Yes, its properties are extraordinary too, human. Well, I'm quite new to the botanical science, so I probably don't know half of it. Why don't you fill me in? Although I'm always happy to facilitate your learning, human, I simply can't stay here for the moment longer. The air is so stale, don't you find? I ignore her sideways glance and upturn her nose. Let's go to the beach and drink some coconut water, and I'll tell you everything you need to know. Snoots? I'm not going anywhere until I find this. Snoots? I thought her name was Boots. Don't be ridiculous. You can tinker about in here any time, but the sun will be gone in an hour or two. I'm not tinkering, this is my job. If I don't get it done, the professor will want to know why. Then explain to him you have better things to do. Snooty Booty, I won't tell you again. If he catches you here, Pawpur will cage you. Be careful with that flower, human. It doesn't do to inhale that fragrance too deeply. What? I turn to ask why and see her flaunts out, knocking the beaker with the swish of her tail as she does. You did that on purpose! But she's gone, leaving me to clear up the broken glass. Wow, what a bitch. And yet she was one of the dating options. Why can't I unlock Trixie? I prefer Trixie. I think the research is a bit more important than anything else. Time to round up the rowdy kitties. Off on a field trip of sorts with the professor. Round up the kittens. Why not? I mean, cats. Cats. It's a sunny afternoon. Most of the cats are lazy on the beach. Perfect. Like shooting fish in a barrel. I double check my supply list. Crate, treats, sedatives, snare, catnip, antiseptic cream for myself. I've got everything. I feel a sick feeling in my tummy, but I ignore it as best as I can. This is going to be a challenge, but I'm pleased that the professor is trusting me with more physical tasks. I'm walking in a beach feeling like a child catcher. I keep reminding myself that I'm doing this for the greater good, even if it makes me unpopular with the cats. I set up the crate in a unsuspecting location and keep the snare hidden behind my back. At first I stroll around, trying to look as casual as possible, whistling a tune as I walk. Well, that's just even more suspicious, isn't it? I get close to one of the smaller cats. I start to stroke her. I want this to be painless as possible. The cat responds well to me. She even starts to purr gently. Are you going to come with me? The cat looks at me with the big, wide, loving eyes. Come on then. I pick up the cat, carry her to the crate, and place her gently inside. I lock it shut, even though the cat makes no attempt to escape. Well, that went better than expected. This may be a good day after all. My experience with cats is no, it will not work out well for you. Not all cats are. Emboldened by my success, I approach one of the slightly larger cats. Yeah, not all cats are fine to be locked away. Some are, you know. Hey matey, shall we get in the basket? I give him a little stroke. He doesn't respond badly, although he doesn't seem particularly interested either. I put my hands on his other body and try to pick him up. He doesn't look happy about it and growls at warning me. Hey mister, it's going to be okay. We're just going on a little trip, alright? As soon as I start to lift, he breaks loose. All hell breaks loose. Yowling and hissing, he scratches my arms to ribbons. I try to get him into the basket, but he stretches out and I can't fit him in. Ow, 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 ow! Oh no! I know when I'm defeated and I have to let him go. He scarpers off into the distance. Well, that's why you... I looked down at my ravaged arms. Well, that's why you're meant to grab the bit at the back of the neck, the extra fat where the cats usually carry their kittens. It usually disarms them, I find. Note to self, Wear long sleeves when on caging duty. Yeah, let's do a bit of romance, why not? You're looking a little tired, you only have one eye on me. If you choose to continue, it'll have negative consequences. Yeah, rest. I thought it meant I could just use up the 4 hearts and then rest. I'm gonna catch on some rest and relaxation, the professor keeps telling me to do so. Come down the jetty where Zane usually sits. Today isn't a delivery day, and as I was hoping, he's nowhere in sight. I sit on my legs dangling over the edge and take out a sketchbook and pencils. I haven't done this in ages. It's so peaceful. I can get lost in my own little world when I'm drawing. I tried drawing a couple of landscapes, the mountain ranges in the distance, the trees of the forest, but nothing is really grabbing me. Then, as I'm daydreaming, staring into the water, I notice patterns that the ripples form on the surface. They're unusual, I suppose because of the magnetic pull. The effect is beautiful. I end up sitting for over an hour just trying to capture it on my page. That's somehow helping the antidote, I don't know why. Yeah, let's try romance. I prefer to romance Trixie, but let's try McMurphy, he seems like a nice guy. Kara, wake up! Mummy, is that you? Shh, quiet Kara, come with me. I have something to show you, but you have to be quiet. McMurphy? Yes, it's me. But it's the middle of the night. Ah, Kara, you're not scared, are you? Why would I be scared? Creeping around in the forest in the middle of the night? Don't worry, Kara. I'll be there to protect you. McMurphy, you know very well there's a force field around this island stopping anything from the outside getting in. It makes this a pretty safe place. Indeed, so the only thing you have to worry about are the things that are already here. He leers at me with a mock snarl. Seriously, Murph, if you're the worst threat here, then this is the safest place on Earth. So come on, Kara, what are you waiting for? Ready to go in to catch a leprechaun? Yeah, my Irish accent is terrible, I do apologise. I follow the scraggy cat into the forest. The ground is wet and muddy. I lose my footing a few times, but McMurphy is too determined to notice. Suddenly he stops dead in his tracks. Here we are! Where is here, McMurphy? He ignores my question and starts digging in some mud and leaves on the ground. Almost got it. I could use a hand, Kara, if you don't mind. Get these leaves out of the way. That's it. Here you go. Okay. You keep digging, there's a fairly deep hole in the ground. My arms and nightclothes are covered in mud and leaves, and McMurphy looks like a bog monster in the darkness. Ta-da! Ta-da? Can you see it, Kara? I'm not sure what I'm looking at. I always forget how useless human eyes are in the dark. Just reach into the hole and take out whatever you find. I suddenly reach into the bowl and feel something hard and cold against my hand. I put my fingers around it and pull it out. I know the shape, but my eyes can hardly process it. It's a bottle? That's right, Kara. It's my secret stash. No one knows about it, not a soul. But I thought I'd share it with you. Thought we could have a kind of welcome to the island party for two. Secret stash? Is this booze? McMurphy lets out a wild laugh. That it is, Kara! But he is Irish. You drink alcohol? But you're a cat. That can't be good for your body. It's not good for anybody's, but it does wonders for the soul, to be sure. Well, I suppose you're right there, McMurphy. I guess one little nip couldn't hurt. That's the spirit. I try to get some of the mud off me before giving up and sitting down against a tree. A sodden McMurphy curls up in my lap. It takes a while to uncork the bottle. McMurphy keeps telling me to smash it open and that the shards of the glass will only add to the flavour, but eventually I succeed my way. I pour a little out for McMurphy into a leaf, and I consciously swig from the bottle, feeling a touch uncivilized. Ugh, Murphy, what in heaven's name is this? Ah, now don't worry about that, Kara. It's not about the taste, it's about the company. I hardly think I'm the type of person you'd usually hang around with. Well, I usually hang around with cats, and they're not exactly what you'd call my type. I respond by winding my eyes as I take another swig of the bottle. Somehow it tastes less terrible the second time round. I find humans much more interesting. They usually have a lot to say, present company accepted. Murphy winks at me with huge green eyes and I blush, trying desperately not to show how boring I feel compared to him. Don't take it harsh, I'm only joking, Kara. Look, Murphy, I've been meaning to ask you something for a while now. Anything, Kara, ask away. I'd love for us to get to know each other a bit better. This Kara thing, you know my name is... There's a sentence drowned out by Murphy's howls of laughter. You make me laugh, Kara. You really do. You know exactly what your name is, I know exactly what your name is, Andrew. Kara is just, it's like a pet name, you know? Kara means friend, buddy, amigo. It's something my mommy used to call people, and I guess I just stuck. It's one of the few things I remember about her, actually. That and her beautiful smile. Hey, flash me your pearly whites. I smile at him overtly awkwardly. He bursts out in fits of laughter again. Ah, that's a lovely smile to be sure, but you need to grow into it yet. Could I have a top of bow here? I don't know if I feel comfortable giving you more alcohol, McMurphy. I think you've had more than enough, in fact. I didn't even want to give you any in the first place. Did you not know that cats have 9 lives? And you want to waste them all on booze? And why not? Besides, the night is still young, and we've only just begun our conversation. Go on, Kara. We've got a lot of chin wagging to do yet. Are you going to pour or not? He's a cat. He really shouldn't be drinking, but fuck it, I'm not going to be party pooper. Part of me thinks I ought to be a responsible human here and cut off your alcohol supply, but I believe in a true democracy. Would you care to expand on that? And perhaps pour the drinks as you do? The true democratic principle is that none shall have power over the people. Cats, whatever. How inspirational. I'll toast to that. Alright, McMurphy, but on your head be it. For with the rejection of authority comes the responsibility for bearing the consequences of your actions. I brought some more of the suspect liquor and soggy leaf. Sligante! I don't know how things work in the cat protocol, but in human terms, you are a very mature... No, wait, very grown-up, adult? Oh, fiddlesticks. You're over a certain age and as such can take responsibility for your own actions. I like it, spoken like a true libertarian. Well, I wouldn't go that far, but I can shake my tail when I feel the vibe. I can't believe I just said that. This stuff is stronger than it looks. My proverbial hat is off to you. I feel disproportionately pleased that Murphy has paid me a compliment. Say, Kara, you ever been in love? But Murphy, that second leaf has gone straight to your head. The cat smiles slightly. I'm going to take that as a yes. Are you still with them? Well, I was never technically with them to begin with. Ouch! Well, it's definitely their loss. Oh, I don't think so, McMurphy. We never actually met. You're not saying you're one of those, internet stalker types, are ya? Them catfish that Kibbles tells tales of. What? No! Murphy, gosh! It was Bowie, okay? I was in love with David Bowie, you know? Oh, I didn't think I remembered clicking a gender option or anything on this, but no, never mind. Murphy frowns and shakes his furry head. See these eyes so green, I can stare for 1,000 years, you know? Ah, that's a charming sound, but I'm afraid I have no idea what's going on anymore. Oh, come on, Murphy, everybody knows who David Bowie is. Red hair, lots of makeup, one blue eye, one brown eye. Well, I did know one sweet soul with a blue eye and a brown eye, but I can assure you they wouldn't be caught dead in makeup. Murphy's well, what about you, McMurphy? Who's the love of your life? Don't have one, Kara. Never have, never will. I'm a lone wolf. I'm a free agent. I'm a big old yeti out in the mountains, all hairy and smelly and alone. For some reason, I found that very hard to believe, Mr. McMurphy. Fine, you're right. I'm a fool, a lovesick fool. I've had my heart broken more than once, Kara, and each time hurt more than the last, I tell ya. The thing is, though, Kara, I can't remember a thing about any of them. Odd. But I do understand what he means. Any of what? I don't know. What are we talking about? Dave Bowie? Ah, that's right. Tell me how the two of you met, McMurphy. I think I'm drunk. What the hell have we been drinking? Ah, leave me alone. I haven't touched a drop. Ugh, I think I'm gonna vom. I wake up in the forest, half-empty bottle in my hand, and McMurphy is nowhere to be seen. How the hell did I get here? I can't remember a thing. I look at my catalogue. Whoa, is that really the time? Crikey, I need to get to work. Let's be a good research student and get the research done, shall we? Once you complete your research, your time on Cat Island will come to an end. Oh, shit. I didn't know that. How to unlock ? Gift from Trixie. Completing Recon 5. Stealth mission. Chapter 1. Chapter 5. Chapter 4. Chapter 2. Soon a gift from... Oh, a gift from the different things, okay. Well, apparently I can't do the research because it ends the game. It seems. Oh, you can only choose one cat at a time. Poor Snooty Booty's heartbroken. Aww. Well, she's a bitch anyway. Yeah, do the recon then. Okay, I might really be a good lead. Okay, let's have some interrogation work. The back here a long time now, too long. I'm starting to feel creepy. I just don't understand it. All he does is sit in a chair by the dock, eating egg sandwiches and doing crossword puzzles. How does a man like that become the security guard of a place like this? As far as I can tell, his job consists of greeting the boat to make sure nothing unauthorized gets on or off of it, picking up supply deliveries, and occasionally taking a long, lazy lap of the island to make sure everything's secure. I wonder what he knows about the research that goes on here, if anything. He doesn't seem to be interested, regardless. I decided it's time to get to know the land about the island of Bouncer and go join him on the dock. I sit next to Zane. What's with Zane? He's all dressed up now with, like, gear and stuff, and a little cat thing on his shoulder. I am part of the cat Gestapo. Meow meow. Right, I'll sit next to Zane. Me and we'll send him that chair. Yeah. He's not wearing his big coat, and the short sleeve shirt allows me to notice that for the first time how surprisingly muscular he is. I never truly thought of him as security in the bodyguard sense, but now, squinting at him sideways, trying not to stare too obviously, I begin to see him in a new light. I pluck up the courage to talk. Hey Zane, how are you? Are you trying to start a conversation? He says without looking up from his crossword puzzle. Oh, I suppose I am. Yes, I don't get to chat to humans much in my job. Research Assistant 125. He rolls the words out like he's reading them. Oh, yes, I guess that's me. So, what does the number stand for, anyhow? You don't know? He asked me monotonously, eyes still glued to the crossword puzzle. No, actually, to be honest, Zane, I don't know much at all. There's a definite lack of intel sharing on this project. Which project would that be? This one. This whole research project that's going on. Is there more than one? Depends who you ask. You, I was just asking you, really. I don't understand your job. I don't need to. I don't care about things I don't need to. God, it's bloody 709 here, is he? What do you care about? Zane looks at me for the first time. You really want to talk, don't you? Well, there's not much else to do here. Besides, I'm interested in it all, aren't you? My interests consist of what's for dinner and when my next puzzle book's coming. When it's coming, you get it delivered. Comes in the mail. He's back to not looking at me again. The mail? You mean the parcels? And the letters? Yeah. The letters? Who would go to the trouble of sending mail all the way out here when we have email? I laugh, but Zane looks very serious. It's safer sending mail the old-fashioned way. With email, there's viruses, hackers, worms, cyber terrorists. I get the feeling he's not very tech-savvy. Yeah, but anyone can open and read a letter, right? Not if I'm around. And besides, who would suspect that something important would be in a fragrant pink envelope? There's an awkward silence. Of course, being my usual socially inept self, I'm desperate to fill in. Need any help with the crossword? I'm pretty good. I can even do the cryptic puzzle in the Daily Inquirer. The line usually gains me a little kudos, but Zane simply ignores me. I decide to just come out and say what's on my mind. I mean, it can't make things more awkward than they are. Zane, have you ever noticed anything strange on here? Cats behaving weirdly? Zane suddenly looks up, his eyes looking straight on mine, unwavering and hard. No, have you? Well, not exactly, but he looks at me properly for the first time since we met. I have definitely captured his attention, but I'm too nervous to follow through. I'm just being silly. Lack of human company can get to me, gives me daft ideas, such as. He's still staring at me as though he's trying to read my mind. Sometimes when I'm out tagging, I feel they're playing games on me, like children, hide and seek, that kind of thing. Some of those cats may be cleverer than any of us give them credit for. Now it's my turn to be intrigued. In what way? They know when to stay out of the sun. You're going pink. The moment, if there was one, is over. I decide maybe Zane isn't the best person to talk to about my concerns. No shit. Feeling unwanted and slightly dejected, I decide to head back to camp. I stand up and brush the sand off me. What's a 5-letter word for solitude? Lonely? Lonely, that's 5 letters, isn't it? Alone. Of course, alone. Zane suddenly scribbles in his book as I leave. It's almost timed, that was. I swear it was. Alright, recon. Is there any recon to be done? Nothing! Okay. Let's work on that romance, shall we? And it can only be McMurphy, because nobody else, and poor Snooty Booty is heartbroken. Fuck Snooty Booty. Not literally. Oh god damn it. I'm sweltering in the mess tent. Typical for me to get cook duty on the hottest day so far. I step out for a moment and try and catch some air. Psst. I'm not sure if I really heard something or if dehydration has gained to me. I take a swig of my water bowl. I should too, actually. That's better. Aren't you going to share, Kara? Oh, McMurphy, was that you pisting? What are you suggesting, Kara? I only use the designated litter areas. Murph, you are incorrigible. You know exactly what I mean. Come on, Kara, never mind all that. We have work to do. I am working. I'm supposed to be cooking this evening. I mean work for the adventuring variety. Oh, of course you do. Come on, don't be such a bore. I'm sorry, McMurph, but I can't. I'm very busy here. I'm going to take hours. It's going to take hours to defrost and braise this meat from the mainland. Well, if you come with me, you may end up providing a much tastier dish in half the time. What do you say, Kara? Up for the crake? You up for the crake? What are you saying? You mean I should just bunk off? That's the spirit! Strip off your apron and let's head the trail. But I can't just... What if someone comes looking for me? Leave him alone, note. Gone fishing. Maybe it's the heat, but I'm overcome with the amount of madness. Well, okay then. You wild Irish rover, I'm all yours. Now there's a thought. What the fuck? Before I can answer, he's slunk into the thickening of the wood behind the clay cooking pits. I whip off my apron and front behind him. I just realised that music. Listen. Oh god. This game. Right, Merv, it's too hot to run. Then we really ought to cool ourselves off, eh? He leaves me under the cliff without warning, takes a running jump off the edge. I see him flying through the air and watch mesmerised as he cuts through the water. Oh no, Murphy, are you okay? Don't panic, I'm coming. I kick off my flip-flops and shorts and follow him into the water. I'm surprised at how shallow it is and that I'm easily able to stand. Murph, where are you? I frantically search around, fearing for his safety, and suddenly feel a brush against my leg, making me scream out loud. What's that? I look down at the clear water and see McMurphy speeding along the seabed like a shark, fast and sleek, and suddenly breaking through the surface with something in his mouth. McMurphy, you can swim? What on earth is that thing? Oh my, it's a fish! I can see he's smiling even with the sprats in the way. You can fish? He spits the fish back into the water. There truly is no end to my talents, Kara. You can say that again, but I have so many questions I don't even know where to start. Catch your breath, Kara. I know I'm exhilarating company, but you need to exercise a little bit of restraint, or you'll be swooning on me next. Relax! The salt water is very buoyant. I copy McMurphy and we both lie on our backs on the surface. It's very calming and tranquil, and I'm finally able to collect my thoughts. I realise I've not had this much clarity in a long time. This is so cool. I know, Trixie took me here first. Calls it the Ponder Pool. Oh, can you all swim then? I thought cats... Before I can even finish my sentence, Murphy cuts in. It's a common misconception that cats can't swim. As you can see, it's another thing we excel at. So humble too. As Nana McMurphy used to say, if you've got a trumpet, blow it. What about the fish? Where do they come from? There are no birds or fish on this island. It's one of the first things they tell you in the orientation. That's just because they don't know. Don't know what? It's better if I show you. Come on, Kara, follow me. We swim for a while, with McMurphy leading the way with purpose, and then he stops. Well, notice anything interesting? Well, the water is much colder and deeper here. Anything else? Can you feel anything? I stand perfectly still for a moment and begin to feel a strange sensation around my legs. It's like warm trickling under the water. McMurphy, are you peeing? Don't be some crude, Kara. It's a current. Look over there. I refocus my eyes until they see that what I thought was a rock shadow is moving. It comes closer into focus and I realise it's a shoal of small fish darting in and out of one particular spot. What is that? I don't understand what I'm looking at. Isn't it enough to just see, Kara? To experience? Do you always have to understand everything? Well, yes, that's my job. It's who I am, McMurphy. I'm a scientist. It's in my DNA. I seek to understand. Come on then, scientist. Let's take a closer look. When close to the area where the fish are gathered, I put my hand down and realise I could touch them and even pick them up, but something is stopping them from swimming further inland. Murphy, we need to get going. I'm going to be in big trouble if I'm away for any longer. But thank you for showing me this. I'm definitely going to come back here and try and understand it. I wouldn't waste your time, Kara. It wouldn't be a waste. I'm committed to finding out all He cuts across me as I'm speaking. I meant coming back to this particular spot. The fish wouldn't be here. Oh, I see. It's only at certain times? And different locations. It changes all the time. There's no pattern to it either, so you'd just be sticking pins in maps, Kara. I brought you here because I saw them this morning. Chances are they'll be gone by this afternoon. Disappointment must be apparent on my face because McMurphy switches lanes super fast to distract me. Okay, Kara, it's time to strip off. What? That t-shirt would make a lovely net. Let's go fishing. Oh, I see. Yeah. I whip off my top and use it as a net to scoop up many fish as possible. It's quite effective. Great idea, Murph. Now you can muscle up a tasty fish supper in no time at all. And you get to enjoy my company for an extra hour. Win-win car! Okay, so now I have a little challenge for you. That, Kara, is music to my ears. There's little I like more than a gauntlet thrown. Well, it's hardly a gauntlet, more of a brain teaser. How am I going to explain to the rest of my team this bountiful oceanfront offering? Why tell them anything at all? Because they're going to notice that we're eating something that wasn't on the delivery list or the menu rota and tastes way too fresh for something recently defrosted. You worry far too much about things that really don't matter, Kara. I know he's right. I could do with loosening up a little, but this is a pretty big dilemma, really. Maybe I ought to tell Professor Pawpur about this. What's the harm? Mac has stopped splashing around and looks at me squarely in the eyes. There would be harm, Kara. Trust me on that. Obviously I don't mean I'd tell him about you or anything that would endanger any of us. Just that I noticed this shoal of fish and I took some. End of. You really think you can mention a phenomenon like this and that would be the end of it? That he wouldn't start putting all manner of investigations and disruptions in place? You are touchingly naive, my friend. I feel myself blush. I'm being a bit naive, but I don't like the thought of lying. So what do you suggest then, if you know so much about everything? Give me a plausible story and I'll follow through. Murphy lets out a wild howl and splashes the water at me. Now that's what I like to hear, you impetuous daredevil, you! I splash him back and furious water fighting ensues. We are making such ruckus, I'm amazed. No one comes to check what's going on. After a good 10 minutes of laughter and play, we run out of steam and float in the buoyant warm water. Let's hear it then, Oz. What's my cover story? It's a simple case of brazen bluffing. Okay. Make a simple but delicious meal, and if anyone should ask where the fish came from, shrug your shoulders and ask the same question. Huh? It's all in the poker face. You remain completely impassive and ask the same question. Yeah, I wondered that too. Where did the fish come from? They're delicious. Really? Trust me, Kara. As a cat who is forever risking one of its 9 lives, the simpler you keep it, the more they buy it. If they ask you where you got them from, you tell them the fridge. Simple. I feel quite giddy at the prospect of getting away with the booze. Okay, Murph, let's gather the supper. We have an abundance in no time, and I haul my catch back to the kitchen in good time. I keep hearing things. Just in good time to make a tasty meal for everyone, and a little extra for my feline friends. Let's see, I can't do any more recon because I need to rest anyway. Sleep. War taught me legs crossed, back straight, wrists rested lightly on knees, and fingers formed in loose circles of forefinger and touching gently. I close my eyes and hear a rhythmic purring, slow and steady. My fur prickles at the steady breeze, and my ears twist to the distant sounds of feet on wood and seagulls crying in another faraway place. The smell of the sea fills my nostrils. The taste of the salt fills my mouth. I begin to focus on my breathing and the rhythm of my heartbeat, allowing my mind to drift. As I take a deep breath in, the tide comes creeping towards me, as though I'm pulling it. When it's just centimeters away from my bare toes, I slowly realize my outward breath is... I lose my outward breath to a count of 5 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. With each beat, I push the tide back into the horizon until the sun was touching the rising sun. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5. Drifting now, without attachment to thought, my mind free from worry and care. Yeah, I can't do any bloody recon, can I? It's gonna have to be romance! And somehow Romancy McMurphy is going to get me the solution to the thing. It's too beautiful a day to be slaving in the hot lab, so when McMurphy invites me for a stroll, it was easy to say yes. Not that I need much incentive to spend time with him. He's very engaging company. We've come to one of my favourite spots, where the cliffs sweep upward above the blue ocean water. Suddenly, and without any warning, McMurphy plunges over the top of the towering rocks. I run to the cliff's edge with my eye in my mouth. What's happening? And there is a sight I still haven't gotten used to. He is in the water, more otter than cat, waving me to follow. Jump, Colour, jump! Sure, the water's grand. McMurphy! I'm shocked by the shrillness of my voice. I hadn't intended to be quite such a shriek. I was aiming to bestow an admonishment. That's so dangerous! You could do yourself serious injuries, or worse, from such a height. Oh, pish! Come on, Kara! or you won't get to see the little surprise I have in store. You already surprised me enough one day. Which one of us is meant to be the pussy? At this, I am filled with an indignance that takes over my body, and before I know it, I'm halfway between the ledge and the water, bracing for impact. This way! I'm still catching my breath as McMurphy's head disappears under the surface. My mind is saying, no, this is ridiculous, get back to land this instant. My body is following the Irish cat. I just take a moment to adjust, but when they do, I can hardly believe what I'm looking at. It's a ship. As we approach from the stern, it looks pretty much intact. I can see the name on the rear side, port side, and though faded and worn away in parts, the words are unmistakable. Kitty's Desire. Oh. Anyway, my head is swimming due to the excitement and lack of oxygen. I flounder to the surface and catch my breath. Kitty's Desire? I feel like I know that name. McMurphy eventually bobs up to join me on the surface. Surprised? A shipwreck? Here? This is a very old island, Kara. A lot has happened here. But how did a ship even get here before the path was made? Hey, don't ask me, Kara. I'm just in it for the grog. Murphy smiles and dives back into the murky depths. I follow, a flaying flesh bag in comparison to Murphy's sleek figure. I try to get a closer look at the wreckage. It's a big ship, likely to a trading vessel judging from the size. It's hard to tell how old it is, but it certainly isn't modern. Maybe 18th, 19th century? Rowing into the ship from a huge hole in the stern, I realise a lot of the vessel is actually on land, and it's obvious that it ran ashore after it was damaged at sea. There's not much time to ponder the mechanics of what happened, as McMurphy is tugging at my shirt with his right paw while gesturing with his other paw outstretched to a cabin he wants me to enter. I'm grateful for the air trapped inside and gasp for breath. Here, Kara, look. Hang on, let me catch my... But as he was already dug into the next cell, how is he not out of breath? I realise his ability to swim underwater is unusually strong, but barely breaks the surface at all. In here, through the hole. He sounds really excited, and as I enter, I can see why. There, in the centre of the cabin, is a chest. It's wedged between the wall and a surprisingly well-preserved writing desk. The only thing preventing it from falling and being buried is in the sand. A treasure chest! I sound like a giddy child and feel embarrassed, but McMurphy joins in my glee, and suddenly we're cheering and laughing together. Go on then, open it, Kara. Okay. What are you waiting for? The key? Ah, does it need one? Well, of course it does, Murph. It's a locked treasure chest. Can you not just break the lock? Who do you think I am, Houdini? I don't know about that, but I do think you're a very clever scientist whose thirst for knowledge matches my thirst for grog. So, you'll get yours and I'll get mine. The moggy grins before darting into the next cabin, and I hear familiar clinking of bottles shortly after. I decided to try the lock anyway while Murphy is getting his. I look around for anything I could leave it with, and I am disappointed. Everything except the chest and the desk must have been washed away long ago. I have to come back with some tools and tackle that lock, Murph. There comes no response. Murphy is obviously still busy with his looting and pillaging, so I decide to swim to the beach and get a better look at the wreck from land. Looking at the scene probably I can make out a large ship a bit further down the beach. I can hardly believe what I'm seeing. One huge sea vessel finding its way on this island is strange enough, but two meeting the same unhappy fate is more than my brain can process. Of course, simply there was a suggested collision of some kind. Possibly the second vessel could have been a pirate ship. Maybe it was attacking the merchant vessel? I get the feeling that I'm looking at the conclusion of a very interesting story here. I wonder why Professor Pawpur didn't tell me about it. Obviously he must be aware of the two vessels. My nose for intrigue is starting to twitch, and I am burning to know more. I decide to take some of the debris, splinters, and small chunks of metal and pocket it for later analysis at the lab. When I'm satisfied that I've thoroughly combed the beach for specimens and have salvaged anything of interest, I realise I haven't seen McMurphy for quite a while. My heart stops and hears my next down end. How could I have been so wrapped up in my work that I neglected to keep my eye on my friend? McMurphy? I was met with silence and still water. I run back towards Kitty's desire, my heart thumping in my chest. McMurphy! I jump into the sea and swim in the sunship. There doesn't seem to be any life around here. I break through the surface with a choke and try calling out the name of my horse has put us water. Where? I catch sight of the shadow at the corner of my eye crawling across the seabed. I dive in to get a better look and see instantly it's the Irish cat, stalking and prowling as if he were on land. I quickly grab him by the scruff of the neck and drag him back to the shore. McMurphy, you loon! What on earth are you playing at? I catch my breath and check on him, but he's happily rolling on his back in the sand. Me? I was having a grand time until you manhandled me with those big meaty paws of yours. Get serious. What? Having a what? Calm down, Kara, you look like you're going to pop. You've been under the water for ages. I didn't see you come for air once. I have been blessed with fantastic breathing apparatus. But I didn't know that, did I? And you were worried about me? Ah, Kara, now that is very touching indeed. I feel like a damsel in distress, rescued by a charming... I don't allow him to finish the sentence. You may think you're very clever and funny, but let me assure you that no one else here is laughing, jumping off cliffs without warning and drinking while you're swimming. Not very clever at all. I wasn't drinking while I was swimming. That would be impossible. I know, I tried. The more cross I am, it seems, the more amused Murphy finds it. You may not realise it, mister, but I have a duty of care towards you, all of you cats. So if something happens to me, you're afraid you'll get in trouble? Aw, and there was me thinking you'd care for me because you like me. He's deliberately turning this around and it infuriates me further. Stop being so manipulative. You know how much I care for you. Of course I do, but you can be very tricky too, you know. Shall we open this? He reaches over the bottle of grog he's taken from the ship. You look like you could use something to take the edge off. No, McMurphy, I do not want any of that, thank you very much. So what is it that you want, Kara? He flashes me a raffish grin. I want you to stop being quite so reckless. You'll give me a heart attack. Well, much of your heart is of a considerable concern to me, Kara. I'm afraid I can't promise to stop being what I am. It's like asking the wind to stop blowing. The wind does stop blowing, sometimes. He lets out a long laugh. You really are a scientist, Kara. Nothing will ever change that, eh? I understand what he's saying. I need to allow him to do his own thing. Okay, come on then. Let's start heading back. Actually, Kara, you go on ahead. I'll catch up with you later. He winks and I am in no doubt as to what he wants to do for the rest of the day. Yeah, I can imagine that too. Yeah, today's been quite difficult actually, yeah. Mostly with the... Let's see, nothing, no new recon, no... Shit. Yeah, today's been difficult with the whole no eating chocolate, as you can imagine. Ooh, it's been hitting me hard. I want to unlock Trixie! Oh, never mind. Buffy! As the sun goes down, I decide to retreat into my tent for the night. When I enter the flap, I see McMurphy curled up sleeping on my pillow. McMurphy, you're going to get fur all over everything. Oh, hi there, Kara. You're back late, you rapscallion. Why are you in my bed? Ah, come now. We both knew I'd get in your bed eventually, didn't we? This fucking game. My hand reaches for this. for the spray bottle, but McMurphy throws his paws up defensively. I am an unarmed cat, Kara, and I actually come to give you something for good behavior. Don't make me send it back now. Give me something? What? Ah, sure, now you're listening. I found something that might just interest ya. If it's more of that grog, McMurphy, I can assure you I'm not interested in the slightest. I sit at the end of my bunk and push him off my pillow, but allow him to stay on the bed as he moves reluctantly aside. I can see a black corner poking out from under my bed. What's that? Why don't you take a look? I eye him skeptically, nervous of what he's roping me into now. Tell me what it is first. Will you just pick it up, Kara? It won't bite. I carefully reach for it and realise it's a small leather book, beautifully aged and yet seems to be in good condition. I open it as gently as I can, for fear that it might turn into ash in my hands. On the first page, smudged and faded, but not destroyed by time or water, are the words... Captain's log. Stardate, so I've been watching not too much Star Trek. I can't stop myself from gasping out loud. Oh, Murph, how did you find this? There's a lot you can find at the bottom of a bottle, or 12. Are you impressed? Impressed? Speechless! I could kiss your furry head! Well, don't let me stand in the way of you and your passion. I hardly noticed he's still speaking as I again trying to decipher the entries, and I'm instantly engrossed. 79. The men are getting restless. I begin to fear for the continued safe running of this vessel, my vessel, of which they are in mind to take ownership. If my captain's instincts serve me right. Are you listening? Oh, sorry, what? I said maybe I should leave you to it then. Yes, no, wait, Murphy, tell me where you really got this from. Was it in the treasure chest? No, Kara, would you believe it? That thing was full of nothing but sand and salt water. That bit of treasure, on the other hand, I found at the bottom of one of my crates of grog, hidden in between the bottles. But this belongs to a captain. Why would it be with the crew's provisions? I'll let you figure that one out, Brainiac. Think of it as a puzzle to keep you amused on all of your cold, lonely nights. Murphy smirks and saunters out of my tent. A sauntering cat. Recon 15! Yes! New unlocks! These are for getting gifts from people, and that was one of their things. Diary Murphy discovered the shipwreck could have some invaluable information in it. Could do. Okay, sitting on my lap. I wonder what pirate's diary is doing on this island. Maybe there will be some clues within. The log reads, I felt an almighty crash and then silence and stillness everywhere. It took a few seconds to gather my thoughts and understand what had happened here. If it would ever really be possible to understand this godforsaken place, and how we got so far off course to reach here. But in that moment, immediately after we hit the rocks, I knew two things. I was alive and we were on land, and I felt grateful. It felt like a chance at survival, and I was determined to grasp it. I felt my legs intact, thank God, and began crawling over the slate and shingle that seemed to stretch upwards to eternity. What type of place was this? Darkness was falling fast, but I needed to make sure we would be safe in this unexplored terrain. Who knew what would happen during the long night, what creatures it may bring, even what strange meteorological anomalies. Looking at the sky, I felt anything was possible, and we ought to be prepared. We had to work fast. I assembled the men, raggle-taggle though we are, into some kind of orderly unit, in the hope that the familiarity of discipline would raise morale. We were all tired, cold, and hungry. Some of us needed medical attention. This was not going to be easy, but it's what I was trained for, and I would rather die than let my men down. We need to make some shelter. My voice sounded thin and weak against the sound of the waves crashing. At first light, I looked around and began to take stock properly. It was gratifying to see that the temporary shelter we had cobbled together last night was still intact, and no disaster before us to add to the difficulties we were already burdened with. Considering the conditions, we erected this makeshift cover inn, and now, and how short a time, I felt heartened for the first time since we were out at sea, before the strange electrical storm began that ended with us being thrust here against the unforgiving rocks of this terrifying place. We could do so much more with daylight on our side and food in our bellies. So they were shipwrecked on this island. I thought of being the first inhabitants here is terrifying. How on earth did they survive? Maybe they didn't. I won't believe they were rescued. That seems unlikely. I'll read more of this evening. As I put the book away, a small piece of paper falls out into my lap. It must have been hidden amongst the pages of the log. It's a note, maybe a letter. Sally, I know you worry for me, but do not. The men do not treat me bad. They give me food and do not beat me so much anymore. The captain is not so fearsome as what they say and is giving me lessons on writing. I am improving. I practice all night because I can't sleep. I work hard, sometimes till my hands crack and bleed, but I still use them every morning to pray for you, that you are safe and well, and that we will be together once again. I miss you so much. The seas have not been smooth. Sometimes I worry that we will capsize completely and be lost out here forever, but I would swim the widest ocean back to you, my sweet sister. I hope you are practicing your writing too. I would like to read your clever poems again. Your loving brother, Jim. What a sweet letter. I wonder what became of Jim. That's a good question. Something tells me it didn't end well though. All things considered. Yes, rest. I'm in class at the university, the tutor is late and we're all sitting and waiting. I turn to my friend who sits behind me and makes a joke about the tutor's car breaking down. My friend isn't there. Instead, there is a giant cat. It looks like an elder. It bares its teeth at me and lets out a menacing low growl. Just as I'm about to scream, the tutor arrives, but it's Professor Pawpur. You look like you've seen a ghost, Andrew. I'm trying to answer back to tell him to look behind me, but the words won't come out. I'm rigid with fear, can't move, can't speak, can't scream. Everyone else is acting like things are normal. Can't they see it? I force myself to turn again and see and look at the most terrifying cat, but it's not there. There's just an ordinary domestic cat and everyone is laughing at me. Now I see everyone from the island. The Marigolds, Joe, Bob, Zane, Pawpur, all pointing and laughing. I jump out of my seat to leave and I'm in bed in my tent, sat bolt upright. I shouldn't have eaten cheese so close to bedtime. Yeah, that'll do it to you. Alright, let's finish off the romance before we finish off the research, shall we? Shall we? Shall we? What am I talking about? Shall we? Look at that star, and now take yourself 1,000 miles beyond it, and tell me what you see. I laugh as Murphy passes me the bottle. I take a swig before replying. Oh, Murphy, what are you talking about? Just do it, Kara. The big shiny one way up there. go 1,000 miles beyond and tell me where you get to. I smile. I'm partying on Venus. Oh yeah? There are so many goddesses there, McMurphy. They're all naked. You should see this. The laughing stops, or maybe it was only in my head to begin with. I look down at the fluffy cat who seems far from his usual self. You okay, kitty cat? I think there's a big pub up in that sky. McMurphy grins and closes his eyes. And there I am, my big human toes warming by the fireplace, and my long hair in the same dark golden colour as the ale I have in my man hand. There's singing, lots of it, and people dancing all around. Those that can't find the space to dance on the floor, dance on the tables, naturally. There's an old sky pirate in the corner telling his stories to anyone who'll listen, of the time he sailed to Jupiter or Mars. And you're there too, of course. You're sat right next to me. We've unlimited drinks because we're famous in these parts. We're practically royalty. Ale, stout, beer, whiskey too. They just keep coming. When it gets dark and the place is quiet, we sneak out back to the beer garden. There's a clear view of Earth from where we're sitting. We don't miss it. McMurphy spits. We talk about our adventures, about how we sailed off this damned island and how the ship became airborne. We talk about how we fought the big-breasted, bloodthirsty alien wenches of the Emerald Star, and how we had to charm our way out of the space slug's lair. And I reckon we'd have a lot of fun. That sounds like an adventure I want to watch. Of course, you wouldn't be able to keep your paws off me. You'd be begging for a kiss, and I'd be saying, "Now, Kara, I'm not a piece of meat, you know." And you'd be saying, "Oh, McMurphy, please, just one of your world-famous kisses, the fancy French kind." And I'd be saying, "Please, Kara, control yourself." I start snickering again. What you laughing at? You! Are you trying to say you wouldn't be all over me if I was a human? Of course I wouldn't. Ouch! Now don't be mean. You'd be the one begging me for a kiss. Oh, what on earth gives you that idea? Ah, top of the morning, Cara. I love you so much, to be sure. Give me a smacker, me burger. That's so offensive. You've clearly not been listening to my horrible impression. Stop laughing. I went a little bit too far there, I'm sorry. Murphy lets out a weary smile. Well, maybe I would try to steal a little kiss, but could you blame me? You wouldn't get one. Smiles a bit. You know something, Cara? Huh? I think I should just come out and say it. Say what? You're right. There's a pause, not an uncomfortable pause, just a slightly confusing one. You're right too. Murphy is gazing at the stars. I don't know what I'm doing. It's a strange feeling. I'm used to being a step ahead of everybody. Well, 2 steps ahead of you. Hey, don't be rude, Murph. I laugh. Murphy grins. This feeling isn't new to me, but it's still not sure what it is. All I know is that you get me in a way no one has before, and I get you too, even if you don't care to admit it. I guess it's time to let the cat out of the bag. Without thinking, I look around. I'm so used to bagging and unbagging cats for my work that I take him literally, but his expression stops me from reacting. I've become attached to you in these last few weeks. You have captured my heart, and I don't want to be without you, Kara. Yeah, you have my heart. Wow, I wasn't expecting that, McMurphy. I haven't had so much fun, felt so free, or been so happy as the time I've spent with you. I don't think I'd care to be without you either. You melt my heart. To my surprise, we was relieved. Well, Kara, I look forward to many more adventures with you. Relationship goals with Murphy. Right, time to end this. Not the stream, of course, but yes, I'm ready. I can't unlock anything else until whatever. Research of a field trip, can't wait. What is planning to show me? Planning to show me his dark lair where he's been turning people into cats and cats into people. And then he's going to be sat there going, "What is it to be human? You must not kill." Yeah, it's not into the other Dr. Monroe. Professor Pawpur told me to be ready early and dressed for hiking. As we're doing field work this morning, I'm not sure that I have anything that would pass for hiking gear, but to be honest, some sturdy shoes would be good. Oh, well, lab coat and trainers it is then, as usual. This from the professor lights up my catalogue. I still can't go over that catalogue. Set to go? I'm waiting outside my tent. Ah, Andrew, are you ready? Are you ready for our field work today? Wait a minute. Professor Pawpur has that gap in his tooth, although not in that photo. Same with that cat. Does that mean he's that cat? I could be wrong, but let's see what happens. Yes, of course, Professor. May I ask where we are going today? Somewhere I think you'll find very interesting. The professor hands me a backpack. Here, take this bag. It's very full, but surprisingly light. Pawpur has set off on a brisk pace, calling back to me over his shoulder. This way! I want to catch him up. After some serious walking with me struggling to keep up, the professor stops abruptly and listens. Do you hear that? There is a distant sound of bubbling water. We're almost there. Secretly, I'm relieved, as I don't think I'll go much further. Just a little climbing. Climbing? I hide my dismay. Where does he get his energy from? It's just at the top of it. It's not as a difficult climb. It's not as difficult to climb as it looks. We are in front of an almost vertical rock face. Just copy me. He climbs up expertly. I manage to find a spot that will support my foot and start the climb. I make little progress before slipping and falling flat on my bum. I try again. This time I take it slow. Again I fall. What happened to the benefits of catification the others kept going on about? Sorry about that. Yeah, for those who don't know, bum is what the Americans call your fanny, and your backside. But here in the UK, fanny means a woman's private parts, which was quite entertaining to me when I was playing an RPG called Grandia, and the two main characters get launched in the air, and they crash on top of this mountain. For story reasons, I won't explain it all. And the female character's like, "Ouch! I landed on my fanny." And since, being British, fanny means something quite different. So I was like, how the hell do you land on that? And ow! Holy hell, that would hurt. The further notices I'm moving toward and holds out a hand to me. I manage to climb up just enough to take hold of him, and he lifts me the rest of the way. His strength is impressive, curious even. Not a fan of climbing then? I can't say I've done much of it, Professor. Come along then, I can get you there. He pretty much pulls me all the way to the top and then leads me to the entrance of a small cave. The sound of running water is very loud now. I instantly see why the natural spring was cut. I instantly see why. A natural spring has cut its way through the rock, creating a beautiful cascade of sparkling clear water. It looks delicious! I kneel down without thinking and begin to drink it. It tastes amazing. As I go over breath, I see the professor looking at me with suspicion. You should know better. It's never wise, under any circumstances, to ingest something that is unproven. But here, on this island, it would be prudent to exercise more caution than usual. I feel embarrassed at my lack of consideration. Yes, of course, sir, I wasn't thinking. I felt so thirsty and it looked so good. I do understand. Many have made the same error. Fortunately for you, this is tried and tested for safe consumption. It's good, don't you think? My body feels suddenly energized. I feel like I could climb any wall. It's incredible. I feel fantastic. What's in it? We don't know. That's why we're here. We need more samples. We've been studying this water for months now, and we still know very little about it. Check your bag. Alright, it's full to the brim with empty plastic bottles. We'll need to fill all these with water. We're going to need as much as we can carry. I do as he says. By the time all the bottles are full and back in my bag, it weighs a ton. But I feel like I can lift anything. The effect of the water is powerful. The professor has also packed up his own rucksack with bottles. That should do for us now. Let's get these back. As we make our way down the rock face and back to camp, I have no problem keeping up with the professor. I feel I could run all the way. However, as we get closer to home, I start to feel the effect wear off. My bag becomes unbearably heavy. The final limited camp is torture. I need to rest. Interesting. I go to the forest to gather my thoughts. This morning I noticed another change in my appearance. Up until now, it's been easy to cover up my transition. I just had to keep on top of removing the excess body hair. Even the stub of a tail that appeared a few days ago hasn't been a problem. Who would see it? But this new development is definitely a turning point. How am I going to explain the fact that my pupils have turned into vertical slits? I can't risk anyone seeing me like this, so I'm going to hide out for a while and see what happens. It's a beautiful night and McMurphy and I are laying on the sand by the old shipwrecks, relaxed in a way that only cats can be. When I remember back to all the anxiety and stress I used to live with, the endless hours fretting over antidote research, it makes my fur stand up. I thought our lives depended upon it. It was my love for McMurphy that finally got me to see sense. Why was I so desperate to make him the same as me? Hadn't I fallen for him the way he was? So I decided to turn it on its head and become like him. I lose track after 30. We're laying out under the stars. I can't help smiling to myself whenever I remember how I can't help smiling to myself when I remember how cold I used to think it was at night. Mac used to rib me for whining. Now here I am, as snug as we can be, counting the stars with the cat I love more than anything else in the world. You see, the trouble is, Kara, you're still thinking like a scientist. What do you mean? So when you count the stars, you begin at 1 and assume you're going to keep chanting numbers until you've quantified the entire galaxy. He laughs until his eyes twinkle with moisture. Oh yeah? Go on then, Murph the Wise, enlighten me on a better way of counting. So if you ask me how many stars there are, I just take an all-round squint to the sky, judge how cloudy or clear it is, and decide if there's enough light to hunt. Not too much is the right amount for that, by the way, or too little light for a snooze. Best when it's bright, or just enough to steal a kiss from your sweetheart. And judging away the sky tonight, he nuzzles into my fur and I'm the happiest cat in the universe. Aww. If a bit strange. Love trunk. And they achieve successful dates. 1, 2. But he's still giving me a wink anyway. 10.5% of the game seen. 0 secrets found. 1 out of 18 endings found. 18? 18? There's only 6 cats. How can... Bloody hell. No, I can't choose him anymore. He's gone. I'll just call this guy Richard. I'm finally here. So this is the infamous cat island. Oh, skip all this because we've read this, haven't we? Apart from the name, of course. Yeah, he totally ignores me because he's an asshole. Yeah, let's skip this now because... if you have some. There's something we have in an abundance of. Plenty of safe natural springs on the island, but we have the bottled kind too. Passing bottle, I'm not too keen to start drinking from natural water sources until I personally check they're not used as cat urinals. It gives me the catalogue. Catalogue. The one before me. I've forgotten it. I left a bit behind. It's an absolute goldmine for information. It's going to get me up to speed with how it all works around in no time. However, it seems something else was happening here on the island. Something that was troubling them. I get the feeling there's far more going on than first, so let me know. Despite my increasing tiredness, I continue to read and the journal gets weirder and weirder to the point where I'm not sure whether I'm still reading or if I've dozed off and I'm now dreaming of talking cats and kidnappings. Eventually I lose the battle and drift into deep sleep. I wake with a start and it takes me a moment to get my brain into gear. I can hear a scratching sound, scratching sound and the rustling of paper coming from the tent flap. It's a cat with something in its mouth. Alright, how's my journal? Wait! Oh, it's got my journal this time. T-shirt and shorts. Close to the danger zone. I'm clicking around to see if I can find any secrets. No. No obvious secrets here. No, okay. Everything goes black and falls to the ground. Let's scan yesterday, it's in front of me. She's got my bloody journal. Thieving little minx. I am. Are you okay? Here we go again. Move back a bit, let them breathe. Has it been bitten? So... Yes, definitely bitten. Look at his hand. Is this real? Is this something about kidnapping? Catnapping! Yeah! Sorry, it was the only way. You stole the journal! Oh, but I gave it back to you. That doesn't undo the fact you stole it. Why did you take it? To lure you out here, sucker! There's no need for rudeness, Kibbles. My head begins to clear and I realise that if I talk to these cats, not only is it all true, but I'm already too late. I have the sickness. We need to have a talk, human. No, we don't. I know what's going on there. I read all about your last victim. Now, Kara, that's not very nice. We prefer to think of you as our champion and friend. McMurphy, you silver-tongued Irish charmer. My reputation goes before me. You know, McMurphy has really grown on me. It's really fun. Oh, I know who you all are from the journal, so let's cut to the chase here. We did that, dummy. You know what I mean. What happens now? Keep reading the notes. That will tell you all we know so far. Hang on, who are you? You're not mentioned in the journal. You figure it out. It's not my problem anymore. You cat slinks off towards the forest area. Oh, don't worry about them. They're preoccupied elsewhere. So, what do you say? Are you going to help us or not? I'm going to be a dickhead and go, help you? After what you did? How could I ever trust you? You steal me more danger, lie to get what you want. What would you do in my situation? Ouch! This ludicrous story about werecats is enough to make me think I'm just going insane. So no, it's up to you. Sort out whatever is going on here. I'll have enough of my own hands to out of myself. Lame. What did I tell you? I knew this human lacked the intelligence and stamina to be part of our research. You rude, self-opinioned Moggy. I would sooner turn into a cat than help you. There's a shocked silence. Slowly, the small Glico pats up to me. I'm so sorry, human. If there was some way I could help you, I would. Trace begins to sob quietly before turning away. My eyesight begins to blur, but I can just about make out the cats retreating to the thick of the forest growth. Despite becoming more and more tired and foggy, I somehow make my way back to the research area, and that's it really. I did plenty of work over the next few weeks on Cat Island, but I can't remember much of it. Times have slipped my mind without even noticing. I'm sure I did lots of good and interesting work here on the island, but I just can't recall any of it. Only vague memories. At the end of the day, I'm really hot. Bothered. It all feels like a bit of a distant dream to me now. I stretch out in the sun, enjoying the midday sun on my fur, lazily licking my paws clean of the scraps left over from my morning feed. Meow! Ending achievement, anti-hero! Single! Well, apparently he did some research that added to the notes, so... I'll go for this guy, and I'll call him, because of the haircut, Mr. T. Actually, because of the haircut, and because he kind of looks like him, I'm going to call him Will. For Will Smith. The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. There's a wobble in the way the jetted security guards come to collect me. ID. Bloody hell. So much time has passed, and how many assistants is this professor going to work through? Come on then, follow me. It's a bit early, but... Oh, sure, I'll have some whiskey. Jolly good! I can tell you and I are going to get along famously. As usual, pass it to me. I try and show my consternation and surreptitiously swipe the neck with my sleeve before taking a reluctant sip. We spend the next hour going through my kit, all typical stuff apart from my super gadget. It's called a catalogue, and it does all sorts of swanky things, even plays music. I meet some of the local cats and learn how to scan them with it, which is a lot of fun. Finally, I'm showing the tent and sleep for the night. You know, this is actually a really interesting story. I didn't know what the point of having characters to choose from was, but it's actually a really good point to it. While unpacking, I find it very interesting on my bed. Personal journal research one before me. As I've discovered, there's a lot more going on than I thought. So have been, our lids get closed, and it's different wording as well, so it doesn't make it all the exact same shit as before, you know? Wait! Let's get that book back. There's everything I need to know in it. Stepping straight into the danger zone. That bloody calico cat. Beautiful colouring though. Okay, here we are again. Move back a bit, let them breathe. Has it been bitten? This cat's yes, definitely bitten. Look at its hand. I can't make out a simple scratch from a bunch of rocks. Is this real? I saw something in the journal about kidnapping. Catnapping! Yeah! I'm sorry, that was the only way. My head had begun to clear and I realised that if I can talk to these cats, not only is it all true, but it's already too late. I have the sickness. We need to have a talk, human. No, we don't. I know what's going on. I've got the sickness. That's why I can hear you. What happens now? That rather depends on you, human. So, are you going to help us or not? Yeah, well, of course I am. You need my help and I need yours if I'm going to find an antidote. Spoken like a tour champion. Well, let's hope the third time's lucky. That should be more than likely. Unfortunately, last one didn't get very far with discovering what happened to our friends. They didn't make an antidote either. I think with their notes to build on, I'm going to crack this. Well, I promise to give it my best shot at least. Hurrah! Respect. Jolly good show! The catalogue starts beeping. But right now, I have to get to work. Oh, I didn't see the other cats. That's a shame. Then again, like, the screen would get a bit cluttered if they were all there. That's about land legitimate work. The catalogue beeps. Must without contact information. Loose lips sink ships. I remember reading something in the messages in the journal. Something about messages in the journal, but I was so sleepy last night I don't recall what it was. Let's only ignore the mysterious messenger for now, or I'll be late for work. They're already working when I arrive, but I'm not late, so there's no fuss. I get through the day as efficiently as possible and head back to the tent as soon as my work is done. I want to get to grips with finding out all I can as soon as possible. Right, there should be some new unlocks, I think. Let's have a look. There's 2 unlocks. 2 unlocks for research. What about recon? 1, 2, 3, 4 recon. Huh, okay. Yay! I can romance Trixie now! Yay! Yeah, Trixie. I can hear a strange tapping sound and it grinds my brain until finally I have to go investigate. Actually, that's a funny thing. My family actually had a ginger cat that used to knock on the door at a house down the road from us where my a friend of the family lived. Well, friend of the family, but as a little kid I always called her Nan, even though she wasn't actually related to me, but you know, she was a good friend of the family and that. And this ginger cat always used to come to our house and apparently eat crisps. And there was a little like knocker on it, and the cat would go on there and knock on the door, and it'd be like a like a normal slow knock if it was just normal. But if it was raining, he would be knocking really fast, tapping. But like I said, cats. I do love cats, and I do notice cats have different personalities. tank cats all morning and the sun is high in the clear blue sky now, so it's time to take my break anyway. I decided to follow the sound. I made my way further along the beach to inspect the rocks and cliffs that run around the perimeter of the island. Tap 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 tap. It's hard to tell if it's getting louder or if I'm just getting more consumed by it. Suddenly the tapping stops, and I hear a new sound altogether. It's a strange gurgling that sounds of a bubbling brook that runs through the deep forest, but I wouldn't be able to hear that all the way from the beach. I stand still and strain my eyes, listening carefully. There it is again. A short eruption of bubbles. I look around suspiciously and notice a barely concealed opening in the contours of the rock face. I feel compelled towards it. As I get closer, the gurgling shapes into gleeful giggles. Hello? I wait at the mouth of the cave, feeling like I've been lured there, but at the same time, like an intruder. Am I disturbing you? Human! Human! Oh, Trixie, it's you! What are you doing here? I could hear you from all the way up the beach. You're a long way off base. I could ask you the same thing, Human, but I won't because I know why you're here. You were drawn to me. I knew you would come sooner or later. I made it nice for your visit. Oh, well, come on, Humi. And she's disappeared into the darkness of the cave. I squeeze myself in after her, and as my eyes adjust to the gloom, I am at the same time taken aback by the light. We're in a small cavern which should be pitch black, except it's not. There's a light source that my brain can't quite understand immediately. The rocks, or at least some of them, are radiating with a warm golden pink glow, which gives the tiny cave a peculiar ambience, almost like a trashy nightclub. Take a piece of space and make yourself at home, Humi. I sit where I've been standing as there's not much room here. I start to take in the surroundings. Wow, Trixie, this is fantastic. All around us are different types of rocks, stones and crystals, all different colours, sizes and shapes. There are piles of the stuff in every nook and cranny, like a little Aladdin's cave. What exactly is this place, Trix? It's my pad. It's where I do my thing. We all need our thing, don't we? Yes, I suppose, but what exactly is your thing? Minerals! I collect them. It's more than just collecting them, though. I embrace them. You hug them? Trixie giggles. Yes, I do! But that's not what I meant. I connect with them and allow their properties to become a part of me. We combine our energies. I'm not sure I quite understand. Look, it's easy if I show you. Smallcats begins nudging and pawing at some of the stones until she has lined them in front of me. What's with that? What's with that pink one there? Oh, Jesus. Anyway, here's my island family. Meet the Grand Dame. Is that the Grand Dame? Oh, I hope it is. The Grand Dame. She indicates the long, slender pink stone with quite smooth and elegant. Feel her. I run my fingers on the shiny cold surface. Remind you of anyone? A smile breaks over my face as Trish begins to giggle. Yep, you got it. Only don't ever tell Snooty that I'm calling her Grandma. Here, how about this guy? I'm presented with a large squat chunk of rock, semi-coloured with a kind of moss that gives it the appearance of having fur. As I turn it, the light picks up the colour and I can see a warm, rich amber tone, like marmalade. It makes me laugh out loud. That really is uncanny, the Major in rock form! Mineral, actually, but yes, Gramps has all the qualities to lead my little family. I've already moved to the next stone. That resemblance is striking. It's a dirty green stone that fits very comfortably in the palm of my hand. It hasn't been polished like Snooty Booty, so it's a bit murky looking, but there are some small patches that have been rubbed clean from handling. They are breathtaking emerald, catching light so that the green sparkles, refracting and dancing around the cave. It's beautiful. Yeah, naughty Uncle Murphy can be like that, don't you find? Oh, he certainly can. His charm is very beguiling. So who's missing? No one. What about Kibbles? Take a closer look at me. I strain my eyes with green light and see a flat, jagged piece of stone next to Fluffyfoot. It's a pebble! He is a pebble. Both laugh. It really does seem to capture Kibbles, but it's hard to say why. It's the energy. Everything has energy, and we're all connected by it. Allow me to demonstrate. Take my paw and close your eyes. I do as instructed and hold the tiny paw in my hand, being as gentle as I possible because my fingers suddenly seem fat and clumsy by comparison. What do you feel? She's warm and fragile, and I almost feel like giggling. A bit tipsy, really. Okay, now keep your eyes closed and hold my other paw with your other hand. Oh, the feeling is intensified. I begin giggling out loud to spite myself, and I'm overcome with a delicious feeling of joy. Open your eyes. I look down and see that I am holding one of Trixie's paws. In the other hand is a small clear crystal, completely smooth. Oh wow, but how? It felt just like your paw, warm and furry. I know! Trixie laughing. You were feeling the energy. This is me. Indicates the crystal. Oh my goodness, Trix, this is so cool. Thank you for letting me meet you all. I notice her face change. She looks as though she's been hurt. Oh, Trixie, what is it? Are you okay? This isn't all of us. What? There's someone else in my island family, but we don't talk about her anymore. Oh? She was the coolest sister ever, but she's not with us anymore. Oh, Trix, did she pass away? No such luck. She's been kept alive. Trixie nudged a black piece of stone towards me. I picked it up and looked at it closely. There's thousands of specks of glitter running through it, giving it iridescence. It looks like the night sky. My eyes are suddenly and immediately overwhelmed by the most intense sadness and despair. It feels as though all the pain in the world is captured in this little black gem. Gosh, Trixie, what on earth happened to her? I can't say. Not yet, anyway. She has taken the stone and hidden it before I could realise it's gone, and suddenly her mood has changed completely again. We need to get you one too, Humi. You should be mineralised, don't you think? I would be honoured, Miss Trixie. You're really quite open for a scientist. It's actually a requirement that, in order to be a good scientist, you remain open-minded. Let me read your towel. I'm a bit thrown. That came out of nowhere. I don't know about that. Not as open-minded as you think, then. That's not fair. I just wasn't expecting it. Oh, come on then. Yes or no? Yeah, I want to know everything. Why not? Play once in uni is quick fun. Oh, Humi. Tower isn't a game. Of course not. Go on then, tell me who I'm going to marry. There's a small snicker, I don't know why, but I'm starting to feel a bit nervous. The Galileo cat produces a pack of cards with an intricate pattern on the back. Wow, that's a cool deck. Where did you get it? Rick Murphy got it. He won't tell me where from. He finds the coolest things. He throws the pack of cards on the floor, begins waving her paws over it, and lets out a strange yowling sound. Finally, she stops and fans the cards out in front of me. Okay, your turn. Close your eyes and slowly run your finger over the cards until you feel drawn to one. Touch it lightly. Repeat until you've chosen 3 cards. I self-consciously do as I'm told, relieved that I'm not expected to make any yowling sounds too. I touch 3 cards, and when I open my eyes, Trixie is holding them in her paw. Look thoughtful. Very interesting. Your past is the fool! Ha! The lovers is your present position. How scandalous! And you have justice in your future. But will you be handing it out or receiving it? Very interesting. Is that good interesting or bad interesting? There's no such thing as good and bad, really. It's all just information to help you. If you choose to listen to it. Okay, I'm all ears. Are you going to tell me that I'm a bit of a fool who falls in love and gets my just desserts? As the juice has become quiet and thoughtful as she studies the 3 cards, it feels like an age before she speaks. The position of this card represents your past, everything that has led you to your current situation. The Fool is all about innocence and spontaneity. It's the first card in the Major Arcana and signifies beginnings. The Fool portends important decisions ahead, which may not be easy to make and involve an element of risk for you. It's a powerful card, not to be underestimated. The next position is your current situation. The Lovers can be a misleading card because it suggests being all about romance, but actually it's far more about making difficult choices. It warns that you need to consider things very carefully, because although a positive outcome is more indicated when this card is present, it also reminds us that pain is seldom avoidable. Finally, we have your outcome card, Justice. This augurs well for you, human. It is the most karmic of all of the tarot cards. If you behave with integrity, loyalty and courage, you will achieve fantastic results and gain the highest possible success. Beware though, that the sword cuts on both sides of the blade. If you sow the seed of discord, you will reap disharmony in your life. There is a longish pause, and I realise she has finished my reading. Thank you, that was fantastic, you were really good. What did it mean? Oh really, Humi, what did I say about listening? I heard every word, I just don't know what it means. Then go away and think about it. I will! I'll try. Just remember that it's all about interpretation. And listening? Interpreting the cards is listening. You need to listen to your inner voice, and the cards will help you hear it. I have much to learn, and I am happy to teach you, Humi. She is beaming and glowing in a strange half-light of a magical cave. The effect is quite hypnotic. Well, I shall look forward to that, but right now I have a date with her microscope. Soon, Humi, soon. I'll make my way to the bright sunshine and take a deep breath. I'm not sure what all that was about. I rather quite liked it. So I'm guessing this is a black cat then. Interesting. Research. Actually, considering the time, so I'm going to work on a special subject. I wonder what he means by that. Yeah, let's do this before I do anything else. Well, I have a very important job for you today. It's quite a tricky one, but you've proven yourself to be very capable, and I'm certain you can handle it. Follow me, I have a little lady I'd like you to meet. Professor leads me in the research lab in the forest, but instead of going in, he takes me to an area around the back. This is our brave little nugget Ravenpaw. She has to be isolated over here, don't you, Missy? So reaches in the cage, which is stood on the table, and picks up the tiny black cat that's sleeping inside. Such a good girl, aren't you? Well, we keep her here away from the others because the poor thing is very unwell. Can you see the nasty rash? Is that her sister then? It's got one sort of orange eye, one blue eye, kind of like what McMurphy was saying about someone he knew. Professor Pawpur holds out one of the cat's paws for me to inspect. It's red and swollen. Ravenpaw looks at me with her big watery eyes, one blue, one brown. They're probably watery because of the medication she's on, but it makes her look as if she's pleading with me. She doesn't seem to be able to eat without assistance either, poor thing. We've been treating her as best as we can, but I'm not sure if she'll make it. Perhaps not even the end of this week. Just let out a sad sigh. I have my fingers crossed though, we don't give up on any of these cats. Do we, Ravenpaw? No, we don't. We're going to try and get you all better. She's such a pretty cat. Her eyes are enchanting, aren't they? She's a very pretty cat indeed, and she knows it too. You can tell. You know what a pretty thing you are, don't you? Professor, you don't rape the cats, do you? It's coming off like that. I wish I had a straight Ravenpaw, but she struggles away from my hand. She's getting cranky. I think we've kept Grumpy Pants here awake for long enough. Turning back in the cage and locks it shut. Ravenpaw seems to fall asleep instantly. I hope I didn't distress her. Of course not, Will. She's usually very wary of humans before she gets to know them. When I first found the poor thing on the beach, she almost scratched my eyes out, in spite of the terrible, fragile state she was in. Professor smiles at the memory. Such a little trooper. She was half dead at first. She's gotten a lot better since then. I honestly wouldn't be surprised to see her pull through this. I do hope so, Professor. Quite. Now, the reason I brought you here is because, regrettably, I won't be able to see to Ravenpaw personally any longer. It's a pity, as she is so used to me now, but there's nothing for it. I have been given an extra workload recently, and I need to share out a few of my own jobs to accommodate it. I thought you would be the ideal person to look after Ravenpaw for me. I'm taking the back of that Professor trusts me such responsibility. It's quite flattering until I remember that he doesn't have much choice, me being the only assistant on the island. Every day she requires a change of dressing, a dose of medication, some cream rubbing into her rashes, and a syringe full of some nutrient milk. This can be quite distressing for her, so I like someone with a nice patient manner to take over for me. Would you be interested, Will? Of course, sir. I'd love to help out in any way I can. That's what I'm here for. Oh, splendid. I'm glad. I think you and Ravenpaw will get along famously before too long. She has such a sweet nature. I look forward to it, sir. Could you start now? Oh, of course, sir. Oh, I added the sir bit. Tip-top. I shall be in the lab if you need me for anything. Please don't be afraid to give me a shout. I am terribly sorry to burden you with this so suddenly, but I have such a lot of work to do right now. Okay, Professor. I feel a little apprehensive as I watch Professor Pawpur retreat into the lab. I didn't realise I'd be expected to do everything right now, without training or anything. Also, there is an ordinary lab back home. I must try to adapt to the higgledy-piggledy way things are done here. I take a deep breath. Change your dressing, I can do that. Hello, pretty kitty. I'm very sorry, but I have to disturb you. Small cat lets out a sad meow as I lift her out of the cage. Oh, I know, life is unfair. Now, where are your dressings? Back in, next to the table, she lays down compliantly. She obviously knows the routine. She has a large bandage on the side of her ribs. I begin to gently remove it and try hard not to pull her skin too much. Well, I suppose we're going to be doing this every day. We might as well get to know each other, right? So, hello, my name is Will. I'm quite new here. I know your name already, Ravenpaw. Nice name. I bet the Professor named you. He certainly knows how to pick 'em, doesn't he? The cat tenses as I remove the last bit of plaster to reveal a scar on a patch of bare skin where the Professor has shaved her for surgery. Oh dear, that scar looks very tender. I should clean it. Is that right, Ravenpaw? Let me look. There are some drawers under the table. I quickly find some antiseptic gel and cotton pads. Now, Ravenpaw, I'm going to level with you. This is going to sting a bit, but please don't take it out on me. I'm doing this for your own good, okay? Trust me, you don't want this scar becoming infected. That would be disastrous. The cat stays perfectly still while I wipe at her scar. She doesn't even make a sound. I have to say, I'm impressed and a little disquieted. Wow, you are a brave girl, aren't you? Well done. When I was a child, I cut my arm on some thorns and had to have antiseptic put on it. As I remember, I screamed the house down. I carefully put the clean bandage, trying hard not to stick it to her fur. I suppose the medication comes next, doesn't it? what do we have here? I looked through the drawers and the box of pre-filled syringes labelled catatonic. Catatonic? Catatonic. Okay. Feline tonic would be better. Never mind. Oh, I presumed you'd be taking tablets, but of course the Professor said you have trouble with solids, don't you? Poor thing. Okay, same thing as last time. Don't shoot the injector. I hold the skin on the back of Bainboard's necktie and go to inject it quickly to get it over with, but the syringe is stiff and it takes a bit longer than expected. Again, the little cat makes no response, doesn't move a muscle, almost as if she can't feel it. Good girl. Gosh, you are tough. You know, I bet you and McMurphy would get along like a house on fire. Rainbows picked out as if she heard a rattlesnake. McMurphy is one of the coolest people. I mean, I was a little wary at first, but he has that Irish charm that's so hard to resist. The tiny cat's head spins to look at me. How do you know he's Irish? My heart lurches in my throat. Listen to me, human. You must help me. I suddenly jolt to my senses. I'm trying to help you, Ravenpaw. Please, don't use the cream on me. It burns. It has given me those red patches. I know it hurts, but I have to rub it into your wounds. Those red patches will get dry and itchy and even infected otherwise. No, please, I beg you, that stuff doesn't help. It doesn't. It hurts. I know it feels that way, but... bloody twitch. Bloody typical. Bloody typical that Twitch then fails, doesn't it? After it's been so good. It even said on the side there that it was perfectly lined. Christ's sake. Yeah, it still claims that it was perfect, so I don't know where the... Oh, now it's got a dive on it. Stupid thing. Anyway. I know it feels that way, but it's helping you, I promised. The Professor has been caring for you thoroughly since he found you. I'd get the sack if you went downhill. That man has only ever hurt me. I'm taken aback. The Professor cares about you very much, and he only wants to see you get better. The cat turns her face away as if she's given up hope. It pulls at my heartstrings, and I pause for a moment. I say, do you continue or not? I mean... I think there's something suspicious going on the island of the Professor, but at the same time... I'll continue with it. I begin taking the list of the supplies I need out of the drawer. I care more about her health than being liked by her. I need to nurse this kitty properly so that she continues to get well. I'm sorry, Ravenpaw, it's heartbreaking to know that you're in discomfort, but without this treatment it can be much worse for you. She doesn't talk to me again. Yes! Newer looks! Yes! Newer looks! Research 3. What's Research 3 then? I've been warned that despite their small size, these kittens eat like horses. I'm sure I can handle it. Feeding duty, okay. Not sure that's linked to anything, but alright. Yeah, anyway, taking the stream there. Yeah, return the main menu. I've had a lot of fun out of that, to be honest. I've probably not made any new donations, unfortunately, but oh well, that's how things go sometimes. Hope you all have a good night, and I'll speak to you again. Goodbye.